Jack Harlow thinks he has black fans.
I got blacker.
Black music.
Yeah.
Deeper into blackness. Yeah. So was that conscious? Was that a little twist on the typical move that white rappers make, which is to retreat back into traditionally white sounds?
It certainly made what I already wanted to do even more appealing. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
What's up, word? Your boy Charles Brown back again talking facts. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Keep sending those cash outs to CLBMG. Join that membership. And all you buying that merch down below. Gang, listen, before we get started, I need you to head down into my description. Hit that Temu link. I know you shop at Temu. Use my link to do it. Support the channel. I am under no delusion that Jack Harlow does not have black fans. That is not what this title is insinuating. This is a more cerebral topic when I want to discuss Jack Harlow. For one, I know that Jack Harlow has an array of fans, but most of them are white. Now, I'm not going to sit and try to lie to you and say he has no black fans, because I did my research and I found out that somehow, some way, black women were drawn to Jack Harlow when he first came out for some strange reason, but that is not why I titled this video that he thinks he has black fans. Now, we're going to get into Jack Harlow and the whole situation of I got blacker, this, that, and the third. I want to have this a little more detailed conversation about it, because it's not just a thing about about race or matters of that. It is a much deeper topic of who Jack Harlow actually believes is going to listen to his music. And I do believe that he has overestimated how much people want to hear him get blacker, right? And I think that this was a little like Charlemagne or some other people said, it's tongue-in-cheek. It was a little bit of he was trying to be sarcastic. It doesn't matter, no matter what you think or thought that you could say or do as an artist. That is not it. No white guy can sit there in a group of white people and say, I got blacker in any kind of shape or form. That's okay. It's not going to work. It's not going to happen, and we're not going to accept it. But that's when you're a little too comfortable. You've been invited to the cookout, and people actually liked you. They thought you were cool. You were in White Man Can't Jump, this, that, and the third, one of the classic black movies. And I saw that movie. It'll never be as good as the first White Man Can't Jump. But I don't remember if it was good or bad, so that means it wasn't even that whatever when I watched it. So end of the day, I want to talk about what happened with Jack Harlow, and I want to express some of my opinions and feelings about Jack Harlow from day one. I personally, I don't listen to Jack Harlow. I'm just going to be honest. But there is such a thing right now, guys, and I'm going to say this as delicately as I can. There's a genre, and I don't know if people speak on it, but it is an unwritten genre called white boy rap. And Jack Harlow fits snug as a bug in white boy rap, and he has for some time now. I know that they're saying that Jack Harlow, I did some research on him, and they claim that he has black females in his stable, and they somehow, some way go into his comments and kind of support him, this, that, and the third, which is whatever. But at the end of the day, they ain't that friendly where they're going to let you get away with saying some shit like I got blacker, okay? So end of the day, when a person dedicates themselves to white boy rap, they expect nothing less than 100%. I want to say a crowd full of 80, 90 plus white people, and they're fine with that. They're not trying to cross over into the lane or the real rough and tough with all these hardcore drill rappers. They could care less about that. That's not their lane. They know where their bread is buttered. They do festivals and shows and things that are on a whole different wavelength, and they're okay with that. And Jack Harlow apparently was okay with that. But the problem with this whole situation is, I think Jack Harlow, and why I named this video, Jack Harlow thinks he has black fans, because Jack Harlow thought his fans wanted to hear a blacker sound from him. He thought his fans would open up to a neo-soul type of branding that he was trying to coat himself with, this moniker, like M-O-N-I-C-A moniker, or AKA, as some people say, my nigga, right? That's what some people are trying to say that this is supposed to be leaning into, but we're going to get into that. But end of the day, for you to even think that your fan base wants to hear neo-soul, period, you think you have a black fan base, I'm just going to be honest, to be that arrogant to think that you're going to just transition into neo-soul and all of your fans are just going to go over there with you, you are kind of delusional. I'm just going to be honest. You're taking something that in and of itself has labored on for about 20-something years and has never been mainstream. For a time, it was good for neo soul, but it has never been something where you shift into neo soul after you've been pop and had #1 hits. You don't shift into neo soul. I'm just gonna be honest, unless you think that your fans are that black and they really want to hear that from you. Now, most of Jack Harlow's fans don't even know what neo soul is. I'm just going to be honest. Yes, I told you I did some research and they did say he does have a small stable of black women, but his fan base are white men, white women, and a couple black guys and a handful of black women. This is not a neo soul crowd. I'm just gonna be honest. Yeah, white people put on neo soul at parties where it's in the background, and they may go to a jazz club and watch a band play for 3 hours while they sip their tequila and this, that, and the third. But they're not really gonna be doing a whole lot of searching for neo soul, this, that, and the third. I'm just going to be honest. So not the people that are buying Jack Harlow. Okay, that's not his crowd. But he somehow, some way, he loves these black women. We saw this video clip of him saying, "I don't think I'm going to ever date anything other than black women." Some crazy shit that I'm just telling you, gang. The ego got to be massive to even say the things that this guy says. So he's all entranced and all in with these black women now. So he loves them that much that he thinks he can actually sing to them. So he thinks he can make a whole neo soul album and still make move the units that he moves and do the shows that he does and still be Jack Harlow, right? It's a level of delusion that we have not seen in a long time, but he's very comfortable with this space of blackness and this, that, and the third, where he even felt comfortable in the room with these two white guys, and we're gonna get into it. I got a whole dissertation over here. I mean, lined up an article, this, that, and the third. But for him to even sit in that room and say, "I got blacker," even in jest, which I'm not so sure. It took me 3 days to figure out, was this even in jest? Because I can't tell. I don't know if this was in jest, gang. I'm just going to be honest. I think he was dead ass. I think he was dead. I think the way he answered it, he was answering it seriously. They want to make it like it was a joke, but it's not really a joke because I think he meant it in a different kind of way, but he meant it. Okay, I got blacker, right? And I was like sitting there for days, like, because I've been out of town. I've been where was we at? We was in a tree house up in Vermont. Beautiful, gang. I forgot to get the syrup though, right? But end of the day, I'm in this luxury tree house and I'm sitting there like, what did this guy really mean, gang? Like this is insane to me. I'm like, how can a white guy in his late 20s that knows this business, he says he knows the politics, open his mouth to say, "I got blacker," in this climate, gang, is so much going on that it boggles the mind to try to figure out what he was thinking. But I know what he was thinking. He thinks his fans want him blacker. He thinks that that's what they're asking for. They accepted him rapping. Why wouldn't they accept him singing soulful, this, that, and the third? He wants to be the new Mac Miller. There is a void there, I guess. What he doesn't understand is Mac Miller really lived this shit. Like Mac Miller, yes, he got clown. He had his hat on backwards. He was the beer chugging frat guy at first, right? And we did clown Mac Miller. Don't rewrite history. At first they did, but Mac Miller persevered. He went forward and he got better and people started to love him. And right around, I think the last album that he did, when I told you I was doing those album reviews, I did an album review for his last album, gave it pretty good marks. I said it was solid. The one that he passed away and then they brought it out right after he passed, if I'm not mistaken. I myself reviewed that album on my other channel, the other review channel, and said it was a pretty good album. So after a while, Mac Miller went from being kind of joked about, kind of not taken seriously, if you really remember what was going on back then, to slowly but surely winning us over and earning his space in here. He didn't just one day drop everything and become, you know what I'm saying, the neo soul rapping white boy that we all knew and loved. No, he took a lot of time. He took a lot of heat to get that position. This guy, Jack Harlow, and I know you guys throw around this word industry plant. I can't say that this guy is not that full on. Like, I'm just going to be honest. He got in here really quickly. I'm talking about this guy's career starting in 2020, gang. So to be where he is, he's already shifted into, because he's bored already. It's year 6, he's bored. Now he's doing neo soul. So this guy came in hot and fast, got all these rappers on all these songs really quickly and blew up. Right, your first song gets, if I'm not mistaken, it gets a remix from Lil Wayne and Tory Lanez. Like, it's insane, gang. And I don't know the ins and outs of it, but it sound a little. Okay, it sounds like some people put their hands in some pots and made some things happen, right? So end of the day, I feel like Mr. Harlow kind of already moved a little too fast to be jumping into neo soul, right? End of the day, we're seeing a guy that pretty much has, I'm not gonna say he's exhausted what he was doing. I think he's kind of tired of it. I watched a little bit of the interview and I want to have a conversation, but I think he's a little tired of the like I said, the white guy rap genre that he's in, because at the end of the day, and I know a lot of, listen, I do a lot of shows. I did a lot of shows. And there is an unspoken, I'm just, if we're going to be honest for 2 seconds, right? There is an unspoken lane where no one says it out loud, but the white guys rap over here and they do their thing, and the black guys rap over here. And Jack Harlow snug as a bug in that lane with Michael Moore and who else is this guy G-Eazy in it? Like, it's quite a few, and a lot of them I don't even know. But if I was to ever see a show with them on it, and it would be like 10 of them, I'll say, okay, yeah, that's just white guy friendly right there. And they don't try to mesh and mingle, and I believe that's where he's fit snug as a bug. But it gets bland and boring over there. I'm just going to be honest. And I think that he feels bland and boring, and I think he wants to elevate his stuff to the next level, but this ain't it. They killing the album. They killing everything because he made a I'm not gonna say a Freudian slip, but he made a slip of the tongue, right? And he came out, and I think that he believes that he's been accepted so long by almost borderline being kind of blackish that he full on was accepted to be, okay, I can say this and take it a little deeper because I got a lot of good black artists and musicians to come play on my new album, Monica, right? So let me read this because I want to find out who Jack Harlow really is and have this conversation. And I do want to remind y'all about a guy that soon as I heard about this, I was like, Beck would never. They would never treat Beck like this. I don't know if you heard of Beck, but Beck was allowed to move with impunity. 15 different genres. Every time Beck came out, Beck had he transformed into a different genre. But we never really gave Beck the shit that Jack Harlow got for transforming one time. Right? Beck was but Beck took it serious. Beck took this craft serious. He never tried to exploit it and play with it. When he dug in and became it. Whatever genre he was doing, if you agree with me, you might not. But whatever genre Beck took on, whatever persona that he ran into, he became that. Right, he'll go, if he went to the Grammys, he was all that. It wasn't like, I'm going to do this for you. You never felt like he was being disrespectful. This right here, when this guy threw on this mock turtleneck with these big John, what was they, some corduroys, I don't know what he had on. It almost felt like, you know how we say playing in our faces. And low-key, it felt like that. So at the end of the day, I want to read first of all, I want to read who Jack Harlow is, because I don't listen to Jack Harlow. I don't know really nothing about him. Seems like a fairly nice guy. But at the end of the day, I don't know nothing about him. And I was trying to tell wifey about him. And I was like, you know what? I don't really know nothing about the guy to tell you. So at the end of the day, let's do it together. It's going to be some people watching this just like me who don't know who he is. So let's start at the start. Jackman Thomas Harlow was born March 13th, 1998. He is an American singer and rapper. He began his recording career in 2015 and released several EPs and mixtapes until signing with Don Cannon and DJ Drama's record label Generation Now, an imprint of Atlantic Records in 2018. So he signed with them, and I guess 2 years later he popped. He was born on March 13th in Louisville, Kentucky. His parents are Maggie, a businesswoman, and Brian Harlow. He was raised on a horse farm near Shelbyville. Sounds pretty clean cut. Good kid, good all-American home, up raising this, that, and the third. So let's see what else we got. Harlow has one younger brother and is of French and Irish descent. Cool. Let me continue. He moved from Shelbyville to Louisville with his family as a child and began rapping at age 12. That's cool. Harlow and his friend Copeland Garvey used the Guitar Hero microphone and a laptop to record songs and rhymes. They made a CD, ripping and rapping, and sold copies at their school, Highland Middle School. That's ingenuity right there. When in 7th grade, he acquired a professional microphone and made his first mixtape, Extra Credit, using the moniker of Mr. Harlow. So he's trying to rap. He's learning the game. He's what they say in the business, he's cutting his teeth, right? He's learning how to do the craft. He's doing it the hard way. He's not taking no handouts. He's really exercising his chops. He's getting this shit together. Let me continue. During this time, Harlow worked on 2 mixtapes that were ultimately never released, Moose Gang and Music for the Deaf. He attended Atherton High School and played on the boys' varsity team there. Harlow's first mainstream breakthrough came with the release of his 2020 single What's Poppin', aided by his popularity on TikTok and subsequent remix featuring rappers DaBaby, Tory Lanez, and Lil Wayne. It peaked at number 2 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100, received diamond certification by the Recording Industry Association of America, and was nominated for Best Rap Performance at the 63 Annual Grammy Awards. The song preceded his debut solo album, That's What They All Say, in 2020. All right? So we already moving and shaking. He's been signed for 2 years, and this thing already going crazy in the pandemic, no less. Let me continue. This is when I first heard him. I'm like, I don't know that guy. He's mad. He already was through the roof when I first heard of him. I'm like, what is going on? So I don't know. What do we call that? I have no idea. They All Say 2020, which received platinum certification by the RIAA and foresaw his inclusion on that year's 2020 freshman's list for XXL magazine. In 2021, Harlow guest appeared on Lil Nas X single Industry Baby, which peaked atop the Billboard Hot 100. His second and third albums, Come Home, The Kids Miss You, and Jackman, that was 2022 and 2023 respectively, both debuted within the Billboard's top 200 top 10. The former was supported by his second Billboard Hot 100 #1 single, First Class. In 2023, he guest performed on Jungkook's single 3D, which peaked at number 5, while his own single, Love It On Me, became his third #1 song on the chart. That's 3 #1s in a row. This dude's already cooking. Within 2 years in the industry, he was already dropping #1 records, gang. That is not easy to do. But like I said, he's in a different lane. He's going to have, well, people don't understand that other lane, that lane when you are just in that white guy lane or whatever you want to call it, that lane is going to afford you some opportunities you may not have in the other lane really quickly. And that is a fast track to start on, and that will make a label really, really interested in you. I'm just going to be honest. Let me continue. He's received numerous accolades, including Top New Artist at the 2021 Billboard Music Awards. That same year, he was named Variety's Hitmaker of the Year and was included in Forbes 30 Under 30. He made his acting debut as Jeremy in the 2023 remake of the 1992 film White Men Can't Jump, directed by Cal Maddox. So, end of the day, that is a very fast start for a young rapper, especially a white rapper. But again, there's another lane. If you can get into that lane, it's just like getting into Christian rap. If you can get into Christian rap and sink your teeth into that, it's a whole wide world and millions of fans at your disposal. If you understand what you're doing and get the right team behind you, right, the right industry people to make your way into that space is ripe. And this white boy rap space is ripe too. So end of the day, I believe he jumped in there with both feet, and yeah, he got a couple fans outside of the race, but at that point, we had already seen him. He had got in where he get in where you fit in, like you say, and I think he was fine with that until right now. I think like I read in some of these articles about him that he started to get accepted by these black women apparently, and so therefore they make black women they make you want to sing and do all kind of other shit when you get them a certain kind of way, and they start feeling you and they start getting in your DMs and you get access to them, right? I don't know how much access he had with these black girls back when he was back in Louisville or whatever he was from, right? But at the end of the day, I'm sure he got access to him when he got into this whole other space, right? So at that point, he started to feel like, maybe I might want to get a little more closer to them. And the close, let's just be honest. You can't get no closer to a black girl than Neo Soul. I'm just going to be honest. Like, let's just, we don't have this conversation. So I think that he feels like his whole fan base is that. I don't know if he understands who his fans really are. They're not that by no stretch of the imagination. But somehow, some way, he's convinced himself that, oh yeah, they want me to do some Neo Soul. They don't actually. So let me read this and we're going to have a conversation. Harlow explains why he got blacker on the new album Monica by Gabrielle Brosner-Verez. This is on hotnewhiphop.com, right? Jack Harlow spoke on his whiteness and the artistic direction of his new album Monica, which goes deep into R&B and neo soul. So he's making an R&B neo soul album without being a R&B artist or neo soul artist before. Okay, this doesn't happen often. Okay, let me continue. Harlow recently sat down with New York Times podcast hosted by John Caramanica and Joe Coscarelli to talk about his new album Monica. Many fans expressed surprise at the LP's R&B neo-soul direction, and he spoke on diving deeper into black music while avoiding the mistakes of his white contemporaries. Well, he didn't avoid the mistakes of them. He created new mistakes that no white guy would ever make in history by saying something as insane as I got blacker. But he did it. He made it. He made it his own, and he became a meme in the process. Let me continue. The host said the Kentucky artist didn't retreat into a whiter genre. This led Harlow to remark that he got blacker on his new album and spoke on the thought process of it. More specifically, the Just Us rapper reflected, without name dropping anybody, on how some of his white peers in the music industry moved to more white-centric genres after dabbling in hip-hop. He's talking about Post Malone. Right? And Jelly Roll. I didn't know till today that Jelly Roll was a rapper. So a lot of these guys can just jump out of the white boy rap situation that they get themselves in and go and do that. Right? I don't know what Macklemore is doing, but Macklemore could do the same thing. All right? Quote, that decision to make R&B music certainly made what I already wanted to do even more appealing. Absolutely. His Jack Harlow thoughts appear around the 12:34-minute mark of the YouTube video. Quote, I think I love black music. I love the sound of black music. Of course, I'm hyper aware of the politics of today, that safer landing spot that a lot of my white contemporaries have found. He's trying to low-key taking shots, right? He's like, I could just go do I can go do some rock or some country, right? He's really saying he can go do country, but he don't want to do that. That would be too easy. I think part of him doing the neo soul is because he don't want to just look like them. So he thought of something different, and this is what he came up with. Let me continue. Of course, it appealed to me to do something that I felt like at the time, when there's plenty of people expecting me to take some of the routes they're already taking, to take the route not only might not be expected. Hold on, let me read that again. At the time, this came out real. It appealed to me to do something that I felt like at a time when there's plenty of people expecting me to take some of the routes that y'all are taking, to take the route that not only might be expected, but is also the one I genuinely want to take. So all the stars aligned in a way for me, to be honest. I'm not going to pretend like what you're talking about. I was like, huh? I guess you're right, Jack continue. I knew that there were multiple things appealing about this route, but I also came to the decision, I'm proud to say, of what feels good to my ear. I love R&B music. I love the sound of soft, intimate, melodic music. So I want to be understood. I want to write melodies and invite people to sing along. Elsewhere in the interview, he also reflected on how he comes from the school of Drake. It's a whole nother topic we're not getting into tonight. Quote, I'm much more adverse to mimicry or anything that feels derivative than I was in the past. As I've gotten older, I've become more concerned with finding my voice and who I really am as an artist. So I feel like he means well. I feel like this is a person who really means well, and he wants to be taken seriously, and he does love black music, but you cannot get blacker, Jack. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. Don't ever say that again. You're not getting blacker. You're a white guy doing black music. Just say that. Just do that. And be humble. Don't make sarcastic jokes in this space because they never land well. It ain't going to work out, gang. So let me read what's going on with the critics of this album, because that's very important for a guy doing his first neo-soul R&B album. Jack Harlow's new album, Monica, is being torn apart by critics. Following its release on Friday, the project, which sees Harlow transition into a neo-soul sound, received a 3.1 out of 10 from Pitchfork and a 3 out of 10 from Anthony Fantano. Pitchfork's Alphonse Pierre writes that Harlow's sexless new album demonstrates a fundamental misunderstanding of neo-soul. His coffee shop crooning is a transparent exercise in personal rebranding. Readers mostly agreed, giving it a 4.7 with the site's new reader score feature. So the critics are killing it. The fans are killing it. Fantano called it a nothing burger. He argued that it'd be irrelevant if not for Harlow's rollout antics. Quote, it's not even an eventful album by any stretch of the imagination, and it really has panned out to be one of like the biggest nothing burger projects of 2026. So I believe it got like 9 tracks, and it's making a lot of noise because he said he's getting blacker. And I would be remiss to say to act like he didn't say, he could have said this to get the traction. Gang, so we got to understand, people are professional trolls these days. He could have literally like looked out the corner of his eye and was like, here we go. I'm going to say it, right? It literally could be a whole plot to get, and they got a lot of traction. There's going to be a lot of people that went to hear it that would have never heard it. Sometimes the end justify the means. So maybe he's trolling all of us right now by saying I got blacker. But at the end of the day, it just didn't roll off the tongue right. It just didn't come out right. I sat there and I tried to listen to it every kind of way. And the more I listened to it, I'm like, that wasn't no slip of the tongue, and it really wasn't no joke, and it wasn't sarcastic. I think it was all of the above, but none of it at the same time. I think he just kind of said it. I don't even know if he knows what it actually meant. I really don't think he knows what it actually meant. So at the end of the day, man, listen, I don't even listen to this guy in the first place to tell you what the music sounds like, so this ain't even a review about the music. I haven't listened to it, and it's not making me want to hear it at all. But I probably will, just out of sheer curiosity, probably today or tomorrow, just go put it on. But most of the people I'm hearing, who is it, Fantastic Hip Hop, a lot of people are saying they've listened to this thing upside down and sideways, and it's not moving them at all. So end of the day, I don't know, man. But it's funny, all the memes they calling him this, that, and the third, and it's hilarious. Music, soulless, child, all this stuff. They calling them all kind of shit, and that's funny. I'm not getting into all that tonight, man. I'm just gonna leave it at this, man. I think Jack Harlow kind of means well, but I also think that he doesn't understand the space that he's in. You can't just jump in the neo-soul, gang. I used to be in the neo-soul back in the 90s, gang. It ain't that simple to just jump in and jump out. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like, da-da-da-da, now I'm this today, that tomorrow. Like, we can't trust you. We don't know if you're going to be country in a year or two. So, end of the day, you got to build the trust before people sit down. I'm just going to be honest, out of all the black genres you could have chose, you picked the most sensitive one, because neo-soul, they don't play with that. I don't care what you do with R&B and rap. Neo-soul fans do not play. They don't take that shit kindly at all. So if you will get ripped to shreds by messing up a genre, it will be neo-soul, because it's not mainstream. It is something that is a personal thing. For someone to go in a house, light some incense, and put on some neo-soul, that person really is a fan of neo-soul. So they do not play. They're not looking for a quick fix from somebody who don't know what they're doing. So don't play with that. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm going to leave it at that, man. Let me know what you think in the comments. CLBMG, head on over to black-yeti.com. Let them know who sent you. They ship all over the continental U.S. Also, every Wednesday night, we go live on the West Show. Me, TJ, and Fliz. Lock in. Listen, head on over to I got the link down below. That Temu link, tap in, support the channel. I'm out of here, man. Listen, I'm going to catch you on that flip side. Oh, yeah, we got the What Project out there. Got to do video. We just dropped it. Listen, check the page, man. I'm out of here. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.
Get my coat, get my sheepskin, grab my wallet, get my pocket knife, and get that hat right there. We out. Grab my pocket knife too. Let's go. When I first came to the city, niggas didn't believe me. I just wanted to join a team and throw assist pass easily. 6 man off the bench, alley-oop pass freely. Suit up for one game and hope a scout might see me. But nah, niggas is greedy, wasn't rocking with him. Unplugged the scoreboard and put a lock on the gym. Told me to power forward, point guard at the rim, and left me with no center and a ball full of phlegm. Not knowing that I'm a dog, a Rottweiler within, with the heart of a pit bull that don't bark for pretend. My bites cut deep, break the bone and the skin, with the level of hustlenomics you do not comprehend. So first I took a block down on the west side end, and then secured a spot with some goons and some kin, and then sent out some flyers, let the games begin. And in 6 months time, the city like that's him. Oh yeah, he the one that moved the hustle to the burbs. And yeah, he the one that knocked the hustlers off the curb. And yeah, he the one that set up shop without a word. And he the one that got it cracking, and all he did was rapping by the Hooters. I kept killers from being shooters. Put a mic in a thug's hand, now he loyal like past fans. Take a man off the streets past the needles and crack cans. Promise mama to keep him safe, then put some food in his face and he'll kill for you. but I don't need them for that. Click like, click share, tell them bitches we back. Share the whole location, tell them niggas where we at. Cause we out here, we ain't the cheese, we the trap.